Welcome to another edition of the Loudermilk family how-to videos. This is a very important video, one we've been waiting on for a long time, months and months. We started work on the barn project, early fall, late summer of 2020, and it's now the end of May. And we've been through the permit process. We got concrete done. I've taken y'all on that journey. This video is going to show the actual construction of the barn itself. Hopefully, if the builder's truck breaks down on the way from North Carolina, Monday morning early, that would mess us up. And that's right, you heard right. They are going to leave Mount Airy, North Carolina at 1 a.m. Monday morning, and they're going to try to get here by sunup. And they are going to work until sundown, and they're going to do that for 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 days if we get some rain in there. But anyway, today, Sunbelt Rentals dropped off a piece of equipment that's required for the construction. It's in the contract. We had to provide a telescopic lift for the construction. And it had to have a 42-foot reach and had to be able to lift 4,000 to 6,000 pounds. So this is what we got. It is huge. This thing is impressive. It doesn't have outriggers like a backhoe, which kind of surprised me. It's got these though, which will tilt the front and back axle to level the machine. It's got a big counterweight on the back. Me and Ada already played with it. There was a dead branch that weighed probably about 200 pounds way up in that beech tree here. And it was hanging over where the right barn lean-to would be. And I was like, we need to get that out of there. So I used this bad boy, and it barely reached up high enough. But I was able to get up there and knock that branch down. Should have filmed it. It also, all four wheels steer, which is pretty slick, man. It's got a joystick. This is how you level it. It's pretty slick. It did not come with a full tank of gas. It come with 3/4 of a tank. So, we'll have to talk to Sunbelt about that, because diesel is expensive. And there's no way I'm returning this thing with a full tank. You just missed it. A hawk, I heard something screaming, and a hawk flew over with a snake in its mouth. Anyway, so I am going to try to time lapse the barn build, because I think it's going to be super cool to see, how that barn goes up and what the finished product looks like. But it's supposed to rain Monday afternoon. PM showers, 38% chance. So the GoPro that I use for all these videos with the microphone mod and stuff on it, it's not super waterproof. And I was going to put it up there by the chimney on top of the house looking down. That's probably the best angle. But the thing is, if there's a chance of rain, I can't just leave it. Anyway, I'll think about it. I was thinking about putting it, Ada Jane has she calls it a travel tainer. It's a travel container for her snake, Lena. Lena's a corn snake. And that travel tainer is this clear plastic, and I was thinking maybe I could set that over the camera to kind of protect it from any potential weather. And it may not be perfect, especially if the wind's blowing, but it may buy me some time to get up there and get the camera down. The only thing is, for a good time lapse, the camera really needs to be in the same location. every day. Like, you need to not touch the camera. It needs, even though it's not filming at night, it needs to sit there at night. And you use an external battery pack to make sure it's got power. It's going to be a challenge. So don't be mad at me if there's no time lapse. I'm trying. If there's no time lapse, I'll definitely take a bunch of pictures throughout the process. But with that said, that's the intro to this video. I think this is the 38th video that I've done, and we'll have some more to talk about later in terms of the videos. Don't know if I'm going to continue it or not. I do think it'll be cool to look back on, but we'll talk about it later. Anyway, for now, I'm going to leave you with a shot of this beautiful, they call it shooting boom forklift. And it's literally like the tires are 42 inches tall. And I'll back up and you can see how big this thing is in comparison to our equipment shed, which is 8 feet tall at the back. As you can see, it's bigger. That's probably 9 feet, man. Maybe 9.5. That's crazy. Anyway, with that said, that's it for now. We'll pick it back up with the time lapse if I'm able to get it. If not, we'll pick it up with just some still shots of them building the barn. Maybe some video. Anyway, peace out. Okay, now the good news, we got the barn. There was some snafus. The crew was sick. They delayed us 3 days. And then on their trip up here, their trailer broke down, and the company had to send them a new trailer. And their truck broke down, and the company had to send them a new truck. They got here late at night, dropped the trailer, went to the hotel, and then they come back the next morning, which was Friday morning at this point, the Friday before Memorial Day weekend, and the wall beams were the wrong gauge steel. And the only thing they could do is load them up on the trailer and go back to North Carolina. 5.5 hour drive. Went back to North Carolina. They come back on Memorial Day, the Monday, and then it went together. It just so happens that because it was a holiday weekend, the rental place didn't pick up the shooting boom forklift that we had. So they were able to use the shooting boom forklift and get all the rafters and the wall beams up. So pretty impressive. As you can see, we've got a ton of room in here. And there's a porch over on that side. And then I'll take you out here. Here's where my equipment's gonna go. I call it the alleyway. But anyway, we're real happy with the barn. I did get a time lapse, which I'll show you now. And I've been going back and forth. I didn't know if you want to hear me talk through the time lapse or if you like some music. So I'm gonna do both. Anyway, without further ado, I'll try not to blind you with that light. Without further ado, here's the time lapse. This is day one. They already had the base rails from the previous day, so today they're going to try to get the roof, the wall beams and the roof trusses up, as well as get some of the framing done. They worked really hard throughout the day. I did have to watch them a little bit. They didn't know where the main part of the building was going to go. When they first got there, they were like, the concrete pad's not big enough, and I didn't understand that one of those lean-tos was going to go in the gravel. Anyway, they worked really hard till about 7:30 that night, and I was pretty impressed. But at that point, there was no end in sight. Now on the second day here, uh, I don't know. I come home from work and I was expecting more. I was expecting a roof. I didn't realize how much frame work they actually had to do. There, every, 5 feet there's a support beam, and then there's, tube steel that goes in between them to, help shore it up. By the time they were done framing, you could shake that building and it wasn't going anywhere. And they got the back wall up. I was surprised that they didn't do the roof first. On the third day here, they made a lot of progress this day. They got all 4 sides of the building pretty much done. On the back side, they got all the windows cut out, but they didn't cut out the 3 windows in the front. But yeah, it was something else watching them work. And they did tap the base rail down for the left lean-to that day as well. It's pretty messy. By the end of this deal, it was a mess. But they cleaned it up. Okay, so on day 4 here, this was the day it was supposed to rain and I had to go to work, so I had to put the camera up under the equipment shed. They actually got the roof on the main building and framed up the left lean-to, as well as got the roof on it and stuff. And they did the basic framing for the right lean-to as well. On the 5th day, this is when they start cutting out the windows. They put in the windows. There was a lot of trim that they added this day. And this day it started to rain about 2 o'clock, so I had to run up there and get the camera, so you missed some of it. And this is the 6th and final day. And you'll notice their primary focus was the garage doors and the cupola that goes on top of the roof. And we also got the ridge cap, and and they basically screwed in all the remaining trim pieces. That's it. Okay, and as you can see here, I demoed the equipment shed. It was about 95 degrees with 100% humidity when I did that. It nearly killed me, but the tractor made short work of it, and I was able to get it done. And now we've got our road where you can pretty much drive all the way around. It's one big circle, and what I left was there's like a little Rubbermaid storage, I don't know what you call it. Anyway, a little thing, that's where my diesel fuel or transfer station is. That's where I fill the tractor from. So moving that is a little bit difficult. It can be done pretty quick, but it was just too much to do in one day. We're not allowed to move all the way in here because, we've got one inspection left, a frame inspection where they'll come and they'll look at how those builders built everything, and if it's to the county standards, it shouldn't be a problem there. The main thing is I've got to print out about 500 pages of approved drawings, engineering plans and stuff, because the final inspector, he's going to want to see everything, everything that's been approved, and he's going to compare that to what is actually here. Now, this has been a long video, but it's been a humongous project for us, and we're glad to kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. In the future, there may be another smaller video that has to do with me moving some water lines around and some landscaping. But for now, our barn/garage is here. And as soon as we get it inspected, we can move in here and enjoy it. And with that said, peace out.